It's Friday, March 29th. HOSA headed for Vegas, a celebration of teachers, and some impossible questions. All of this and more on this edition of Stinger on Air. Good morning, Jackets. I'm Tabitha Thompson, and welcome back to the Stinger on Air. A last-minute change for the anatomy team resulted in one of the biggest wins HOSA has had. Lainey Cawthon has more.
Oh my gosh, we were so excited.
Isabel Lucas is one of the 4 HOSA members that won a state title and is headed to nationals in Las Vegas, along with members Liza Falconberry, Reagan Helms, and Caleb Boykin, who all won the anatomage tournament.
The anatomage competition was really great. It's like this big old screen. It's giant, and it has a full body on it, someone who gave their body to science, and it's all of their measurements from their skin. It looks exactly like how they would if they were still alive. And it has bones, nervous system, your cardiovascular system, your pulmonary, like your lungs and all your organs in it. And it was just a fun competition because you just had to pick out. They'd be like, oh, where's your femur? And you had to go point to it on the screen, and it was just really great.
I said, y'all pick up Reagan on the way, and then y'all go, and then y'all all come back. I said, but why y'all are coming back? Walk through and look at that table. And they were like, maybe we should do this. I was like, yeah, I think y'all be great at it.
The win qualified the group for the anatomage tournament in Las Vegas and the National HOSA Conference in Houston.
We want them to be successful. We obviously know they can do it at this point, so they proved that. So now we need to kind of buckle down and say, okay, now we know the concepts, because we went in there blind. They had no idea what they were doing, and it just so happened like
they were good at it.
We taught them what they needed to know, and they retained it, which is like the biggest piece of information that we could appreciate.
Way to go, Jackets, and best of luck. For Stinger on Air, I'm Lainey Cawthon.
Thanks, Lainey. The HOSA team will be holding a number of fundraisers over the next few weeks, and if you would like to donate, you can reach out to doctors Courtney Marshall or Christina Mettinger. Everyone can agree that teachers are underappreciated. Last week, we had 2 teachers recognized for their hard work. Lauren Fail has more.
Surprised and very humbled and honored.
Lindsay Johnson and Kristen Snipes were named Beaufort High School's Teacher of the Year. Johnson was named Beginning Teacher of the Year for her work teaching science, math, and employability credentials.
Oh, I love Beaufort. This is my home. This is where I went to school. This is the only home that I've known. So it just is great to be back and feel like that I'm where I belong.
When they came in and announced that I was Teacher of the Year, I was completely blown away.
Veteran teacher Kristen Snipes was also recognized. Snipes not only teaches history, but works with a very active student council. She says it is an honor to serve as this year's Teacher of the Year.
I feel a lot of times that our efforts we don't see the fruit of our efforts a lot of times. And so to actually have a student take their own time and to write an essay and really put that in really means the world to me.
For Stinger on Air, I'm Lauren Fell.
After spending a warm and energized day at Carowinds, the chorus program competed in the Festival of Music. They were awarded excellent. They also attended the choral performance assessment earlier this week, where both the Jacket Chorale and their ladies ensemble were awarded excellent ratings. The BHS band participated in their concert performance assessment earlier this week, performing a much more challenging program this year and came up 3 points shy of an excellent rating. Great work. We're all very proud of our band. Spring break is about relaxing, whether that is at the beach, mountains, or even in your bed. Next week, take pictures of your spring break activities to share with the Stinger podcast. Send them to matthew.collier@lcsd.k12.sc.us.
We interrupt this program for a special Beaufort Stinker report. Good morning, Jackets. While it is not April 1st, this is our last show before April Fool's Day. So this is our annual Stinker on Air. I'm Alex. And topping our April Fool's Day report, one Beaufort student has unlocked the secrets to growing marshmallows. Sophomore Peyton Shute has done something no other Beaufort student has done.
I was in Florida visiting a marshmallow swamp. I had no idea marshmallows even grew in swampy marshes. Anyway, I was able to bring back some mini marshmallows like these. And to my surprise, when I planted them and really overwatered them, I started seeing sprouts. I continued to overwater them, and then before I knew it, I had a whole field full. I then began to experiment and plant them around some trees. And now, look, they've grown so much.
So far, we've kept the operation of growing marshmallows a secret and the location a secret, but we hope for future research purposes we'll be able to bag them up and make a lot of money.
We're working on some different projects, one of them being planting some mini marshmallows and some jelly beans together to make peeps. So far, that hasn't really worked out. Another project that we're trying to work on is planting marshmallows and rice together to make Rice Krispie treats. We'll just have to see how that goes, but it might just be April Fool's Day next year before we get that.
In other stinker news, here's a live look at the preparations for Jacket Pride. In an attempt to prepare for championship season, this JP event will be a school-wide MASH event. Students will spend the time studying and getting caught up on assignments before spring break. Should be one of the most exciting JP events ever. That concludes this April Fool's edition of the Stinker on Air. We now return you to your regularly scheduled Stinger. Oh, April Fools.
Thanks, Alex. I think. Now, back to the real news. Buford Agriculture Plant Sale is in full swing with about half of their plants sold. Instructor Justin Reynolds says there are still opportunities for the community to come out and support the program.
So obviously you can look and see it's still pretty full behind me. We are going to sell up until today on Friday. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. Then we have spring break next week, and then when we come back from spring break, we'll have some opening hours and continue selling until we get everything going.
Today is Jacket Pride Day, and the gym is really set up for the usual games and fun. Taking a look at the numbers for those that qualified. 77% of ninth graders, 76% of sophomores, 78% of juniors, and the seniors have the most to qualify with 84%. Overall, 79% of our student body will be able to participate in Jacket Pride. Remember, we are on Jacket Pride schedule, so disregard the bells. Turning to sports, it has been a very busy week for athletics. On Tuesday, softball won 11-1 over Cheraw. Baseball recorded a win over North Central 5-4, and on the pitch, girls soccer defeated Governor School 10-0, and the boys soccer team won in overtime against the Eagles 2-1. There will be a full slate of games following the break, so be sure to check out our Facebook and Instagram accounts for more. Is it possible to come up with a question that's impossible to answer? That got us to thinking about the possibilities, or should we say impossibilities. We sent the Stinger on the Street crew out to explore well, you get the picture.
You've heard of Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible. Well, we're on an impossible mission to ask the impossible question. If anything is possible, is it possible for anything to be impossible?
I mean, I guess if anything's possible.
Why do feet stink and noses run?
I don't know.
Who tests and confirms whether dog food is ever improved?
Dogs themselves.
I mean, how do you ever throw away a garbage can?
You just go to the dump and you're just like, ugh. Yeah.
Why is abbreviation such a long word?
That is ironic that when you abbreviate something, make it short, but then the word is long. Kind of like Scooby-Doo's ironic too. That he's a dog and he can talk. Scooby-Doo.
Real.
What hair color do they put in bald people's driver's licenses?
Rojo. Azul.
Why isn't there a mouse-flavored cat food?
Because how do we know what it tastes like? How are we going to taste test it?
Why is the word dictionary in the dictionary?
So you know how to spell it and what it means?
Are eyebrows facial hair?
I would say so. Yes.
If you'd been given a different name, would you be a different person today?
Probably. Like, it depends on the name. That's it for this week's Stinger on the Street with Devin and Zamora. Anyways. ask the impossible question.
Tell me when. Now's good. Can you hear me? Okay.
Thanks, Devin and Zamora. That does it for this week's edition of The Stinger on Air. We hope you have a wonderful spring break. Before we leave, we want to send a special get well soon message to a Buford legend. Mrs. Ida Polston is our receptionist and earlier this week began her battle to overcome cancer. On Wednesday, students and staff wore pink in support of Mrs. Ida. We leave you with a look back at Ida Polston Day at BHS. We love you, Mrs. Ida.
And who did? Ida did!
No, you say it. You say it first. Say jackets on me, jackets on three. 1, 2, 3.
Jackets on me, jackets on 3.
1, 2, 3.